Today's special guest, Mr. Sabu Bhattacharya, keynote speaker, Dr. Rosemary, respected former MP, Dr. Lotho Fozze, Mr. Lotha, the president of the JDU, as well as former NSF president, and all the former NSF leaders who are here. I give my due respect to you all, and my respect to the RC Nagaland House Nagaland, Delhi, and RC Manipur House Delhi. My respect to all the Naga elders who are present here this afternoon, and my dear young friends who are here to participate in this program. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizing committee for inviting me to be part of this program. I have nothing to give, I have nothing to teach you, but I have a few concerns which I would like to share this afternoon. As keynote speaker, I have already mentioned about the need of an hour for all the Nagas to think. I would like to repeat again, saying that let us not forget that we are at a crossroad. If we choose the wrong way, that will be a mistake that we will regret, but it will never come back again. I wonder why Nagas have become very weak today. We are mentally very weak. We are more educated. We have so many good officers, educationists. We are in all the disciplines today. We have learned as much as anybody in this world have learned. Yet, I still see that we're becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. We have become more and more selfish. We dress well, but if we look at our reality, we are much uglier than we are naked. If I ask anybody if you have done any harm to our society, by your thinking, by your act, by your policy, nobody will admit that I have done it. Yet we all do something or other which has harmed our society today. If we go back to the history, we are united, we trust our leaders, we respect our leaders, we follow our leaders. And our forefathers have not made any mistake. They have taken right decision at the right time, and people have followed. That's why today we are proud of our history. But is there anything which our next generation would be proud of us here, today's generation? Do you have anything to say that I have done this, that my generations, next generations, my children will be proud of my works? We teach one another. We point out each other's fault. We blame on one another, but we're never ready to take our mistakes. People who have courage only admits their mistakes. People who doesn't have courage never admits their mistake. People who have courage will accept their defeat. But people who doesn't have courage will never admit their defeat. Today, our society is no longer intact. At the organization level, at a church level, at any level, we are divided. We keep talking about unity. We keep talking about our strength. But we make mistake after another mistake, which is responsibility goes to you and me. Today, where our organizations are no longer as strong as before. When some of our organizations, some of our communities are no longer part of the bigger community, big organizations. If we look at this very seriously, it is all because of our selfishness. In my student days, that was 35 years before, we have a very strong Naga organization in Shillong, one of the strongest organizations in Shillong, of the Naga community outside Nagaland and Manipur state. NSCS was one of the oldest and the strongest organizations. It was well organized, united, we worked together. But at one point of time, some units protested and they withdrew their support. It all began from one individual, and the whole community took it as a community issue. But will that person ever admit that that was my mistake, that I misled my community, leading to excommunication and withdrawal of support from the NSCS? Nobody admit that. There was a big issue. The NSF, I still remember it was under the leadership of Mr. Parfino. He had to lead the NSF team to Shillong many times. And they came in Shillong for a week. I was then the vice president of the NSUS. See, it becomes the entire Naga issue. It's because of one individual who happens to be a person from a big Sword family. NUCS took up an action, a disciplinary action against a person. The person misguided their units. And units took up as a very serious case. And later on, it became a big issue. You see, every disunity that has come to our society comes from some individuals, which our people also took it as a pride, as an ego. When somebody from my community said, see, I was discriminated, I'm supposed to get this, I'm supposed to do this, but see, I'm discriminated, will you rescue me or not? Then I said, yes, we have to organize our Jalandong community. We must protest. If they don't agree with us, we will withdraw. See, all these things has happened many times, and now it is happening. And we talk about unity when we're not ready to even admit our own mistake. We are jealous of one another. Now, by withdrawing, by keeping yourself away from the main organization, will you gain or will I gain anything? Today we need to grow stronger. We have to come together. The world is now full of competitions. We are entering a computer age. We are talking about many, many advanced things, but compared to our forefathers, we have become much weaker, mentally much weaker. Do you have the memory of our forefather? I don't think so. If you don't have a computer, you will be almost nothing today. But our forefathers' computer was different. They can compose, memorize 100 songs. If we write it down, it will be 500 pages. They can memorize it. They can remember everything. But today you will not even remember one page unless you go to your computer or your mobile. We have become very weak. We need to rethink why we have become very weak. We talk about many things in medias. We criticize one another. We are ready to point out somebody's mistake. But never ever ready to be blame and admit the mistake that you and me make. Unless you are ready to admit, unless you have the courage enough to say that you as a human being also have a certain weakness, that because of that certain weakness that you have as a part of destruction that our society is facing. And if you admit that, you can correct it. And we can contribute in strengthening our society, strengthening our society. I mean. Let us stop blaming one another. Let us not continue pointing fingers on one another. One leader will blame another leader. One community blame another community. We always try to point fingers on one another. But I think we take little time, or we don't take time at all, sitting down and think what you have done. What good you have done for the society? What mistake you have made? Society blames the politicians. The politicians blames the public. The church leaders blames the drunkards, the sinners, the adulterers. Everybody blame one another. And nobody is perfect. Everybody thinks you and me, we are all perfect. It is a need of an hour for the Naga society to rethink, admit our own mistake, and try to come together. Let us also respect our leaders. Let us not forget that the leader has been given a wisdom by God, at least for some time. That's my belief. We look at anybody only the dark side of a person. We never look at the good side of a person. Now, many organizations organize meetings after meetings, not to bring together, but to bring more destruction. Nagaland Nagas organize a Nagaland Nagas meet, saying that Manipurs, they are already separated. We are not supposed to go together with them. And Manipur Nagas also will organize the same way. Assam also will organize the same way. And district-wise, community-wise, and start reducing ourselves smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And who will care about us? Where is our strength? When you have already reduced to a very small size, let us sacrifice our interests also sometime for the sake of our unity. Unless our society is strong, you remember, let us remember, you will not be strong. Your endeavorous strength have to put together as a community strength. Then only you will be strong, the community will be strong. And you will be able to do something good. When you are strong, you can help others also. Today we need peace. We all talk about peace, political peace, social peace, but nobody is seriously working for this now. There is war, there is trouble, there is problems everywhere. Instead of blaming one another, instead of pointing an accusing finger on one another, let us first contribute something good for our people, and let us also admit that you also have weakness. You have also some shortcomings. Then only we will be able to come together. If you look at me with full of suspect, you will never trust anything I say. If I look at you with suspect, I can never trust you. I will never take what you say. Let us also trust one another. With this, let me conclude my short sharing. I once again thank the organizing committee for inviting me to be part of this program. Thank you.